Hello, welcome to The Solution, Chapter 3. In this particular chapter, we're going to talk about the two-party system. And I'll start by saying that it is a horrible, horrible system that we have in place right now in this country. Um, Number one, all right, you only got two choices when you vote for the president, and it's the most powerful position in the world, and you only have two choices, and it holds true for any other election down the line. You more often than not, you find yourself voting against the guy you don't want in than the guy you do want in, and hence the term the lesser of two evils. Um, how about the lesser of five evils? You never hear that. How about five political parties? First of all, you'd stop having black and white and a choice between the two. What you'd end up with is more gray. And when there's more gray, these three middle parties, the two on the end will become less black and less white as well, because this is where the American public is at, in the middle. Most of the time, um, we most of us believe a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And maybe we lean towards, maybe we're hardline Democrat or Republican. But the fact of the matter is that we still don't have the choices. And someone may argue that, well, that's ridiculous because we can get a president of the United States voted in for 25% of the vote. If you had five people to choose from, someone could win with 21% even. And you think about that, and at first glance, that doesn't bode well because you didn't get a majority of the voters. But when you think about the makeup of these parties and the fact that instead of being black and white, they're going to be finely nuanced, you're going to end up realizing that you might have voted for this guy, and this guy is the president now, but he's real close to this guy and this guy and that guy. All right, he might not be, at the extreme, and so we need to get there. And unfortunately, because the two parties that are currently in control will never allow that, all right, will do everything in their power and probably for the first time in history team up on a common cause. Um, they own a monopoly on the political process. We have antitrust laws against businesses having a monopoly, but there's nothing that stops these guys from doing business as usual. I mean, talking about billions of dollars at stake in salaries and health care benefits and and who knows, bribes? I don't know, political contributions. It's a multi-billion-dollar business that's going on in politics. And the thing is that these guys spend most of their time trying to either keep the power that they have or wrestle away the power that the other party has so that they can do what they want to do, what they think this country should look like, instead of what we think the country should look like. I mean, I think most of us will agree that, and I'll cover this in another chapter about government, that Hawaii's needs are not the same as Massachusetts' needs. So how can a federal government pass laws that make everybody happy? They can't. It's not possible. The power belongs within the states, and the federal government needs to oversee this country, not be in control of this country. Now, that's a Republican point of view. But I'm not a Republican because I don't agree with a lot of what Republicans are doing and the way they're handling things. And there's a lot of things that Democrats that are doing that I think is right. And we don't have the choice of finding somebody like that in our elections. And that's what's wrong. Um, Again, five parties. I talk about it in my book called Under New Management. It's on Amazon.com. It's currently just an ebook. And I'm hoping that if you want to hear more about how we can solve this problem, and others that I talk about, the 25 chapters and all, that you'll pick up the book. Look, we can do this. We can solve a lot of our problems if everyone gets involved. And I'll talk about apathy later too, because that's another one of the big problems in our country. So please share this series of videos. Don't agree with me if you don't agree with me. That's wonderful. I like that. I'd rather have people disagree with me, because the more facts we have, the more information, the more point of views we have input into our political process, the better chance of coming to a solution that most of us want. And and I can live with being in the minority if the majority was well informed and made a decision that they really, really knew everything about and decided on something. But that's not happening in our political process anymore. It's more about power, and it's more about bashing the other guy. And it's a big game that I'm tired of seeing, and I hope you are too. My next chapter will be on immigration, and hope you have a nice day, and be safe.